Hey everybody, in this video we're going to talk about domains of functions a little bit, but mostly we're going to just discuss interval notation. For some of you, you may have learned this last year. I know my Math 1 people, they started introducing it at the Math 1 level last year, but I'm not sure if you've seen it before or not, so I'm going to have a really quick video here explaining what this notation looks like. It's another way of describing intervals of numbers. And so when we start talking about domains and ranges and things like that, we have to be able to express these ideas with symbols. And, a graph does represent it, but that's not typically how it's done. So take a look at this video, and I'll try to keep it kind of short and see what you think. And if it gets really complicated for you and you don't understand, because I have had people in the past that don't, feel free to bring it up in discussion, message me, email me, whatever you got to do, and I'll work with you one-on-one to trying to get this back across. All right, so I'll set this up in our notes and titled it Interval Notation. Okay, so what interval notation does? It takes the idea of what a number line is and it puts it into symbols. And it turns out I got a bad first example, so I'm probably going to go down and do the next one first and come back to this one, okay? All right, so here's what happens. If you remember back in the day when you learned this stuff, the open circle does not include, if you're talking number lines, right? And these symbols, less than or greater than, without the line under it, always corresponded to an open circle. Well, interval notation replaces that with a parenthesis. Okay? Now, what we're looking at here is an inequality written on a number line. These would have been open circles previously. And this is not interval notation. Don't get me wrong right here. This is just a graph where they've taken the open circle idea and used parentheses. And a lot of books do that. Okay? I guess what I'm saying here, just to be real clear, is this, I don't know what the numbers were exactly, but I'm just going to draw one like it. Oh boy, that's not very straight, but it'll have to work. There's 0, say, maybe that's -2, and that's 3. There's an open circle going that way, open circle going that way. Those are now parentheses. Right? And that's what they've done. So far, that's all you got to know. All right? Is that they've replaced the parenthesis with, or the open circle with the parenthesis. Now, over here, the closed circle, which was previously a solid circle, has gone to a bracket. And remember, these symbols correspond to that idea. It includes the number. And I even put the language up here. Does not include, includes. Very simple so far. So those are the rules. Now let's get down here and start talking about how we would actually use this notation. I'm going to come back to that one. Like I said, it's not the best example in the world. All right, the first thing you got to realize when you're using interval notation, the infinity and negative infinity idea comes into play. All right. Now remember, on a number line, and even when you write these inequalities, you always write them from left to right as you read them on the number line. Left to right. That's the biggest thing you got to get straight, because some people will do these things backwards. All right, negative infinity lives at the far left, right, all the way out to the very end of the left. Positive infinity lives to the far end of the right. You cannot interchange these things. Some people think they can, and they're wrong when they try to do it. Okay, remember this symbol here, and we're going to try to write this with interval notation. This one right here does not include that number 3. And you go back up here and see it. Our rule says, hey, open circle corresponds to this. Now it's an open parenthesis. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so when you use interval notation, you're going to start with the farthest number on your left. I need to make an equation here, I guess, so I can have the right symbols. All right, so the farthest thing to my left on this number line that I've got to put in here, because this says every number less than 3. Well, that starts at negative infinity. Right? Negative infinity is where I'm going to start it. And all you do is separate with commas. So negative infinity to 3 parenthesis. So that's this expression, this number line in interval notation. So we're reading from left to right. Oops. This inequality covers everything from negative infinity to 3, but not including 3. And when somebody asked me before one time, they said, well, why didn't you include infinity or negative infinity? I always answer with Tell me what number it is, and I'll include it. In other words, you can't include something that you don't know. And if you try to take a number, I can always pick one smaller. So you can't ever really include infinity, or positive infinity, or negative infinity. Okay, so let's go up here and take a look at this graph, and I think I'm going to have a new symbol for you. All right, so this is a compound inequality, and it says, okay, I need every number less than negative 4, not including, and every number greater than 4, including, not including. And this is an OR. So to write this in interval notation, let's get started with it. We've got to write two different pieces. What did I do? Put that in the wrong place? Okay. We'll start on the left side. So we're going to say, okay, so we need our parenthesis because we know we got a negative infinity on the left that we cannot include. Oops, that should have been negative. Negative infinity to negative 4. Now, when you have an OR and you got to join two sets together, in this game we're playing here with this notation, you're going to need a union symbol. Oh, there it is. So there's your union. And we're going to pick up again at 4, and we're going to go to positive infinity. All right, so look, it reads from left to right. Negative infinity to negative 4, skip some space, 4 to infinity. So that's how that reads. And we'll do one more real quick so you get this down pat. Now I've already got the inequality written right here. This is the closed set, and notice it includes from 0 to what looks like 4.5. That's what I put there. And if you saw it in inequality form, it would be written that way. So we're going to go to, this is a really good one for interval notation because it's really quick. So we'd have bracket, 0, 4.5, close bracket. So that is how you would write that in interval notation. That's a very compact notation. One quick warning, if these were parentheses, people look at these as ordered pairs sometimes. Be careful with that. It would look just like one, but it's not an ordered pair. Okay? And that's obviously not an ordered pair. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. You might get confused with this. I'm going to have an assignment dealing with this stuff, and make sure you access these notes. Come back and look at what I've done. You can't edit it, but you can see what we've done. Keep track of this in your notes, and if you have any trouble with this, let me know. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks.